Faith is often a concept that we take for granted in the church. We hear the word so often that we don't often look at it to see how it's defined. Now, Hebrews identifies faith as something that is unseen and hoped for. But it's the evidence of the thing that's not seen, not just something that you can't see with your eyes. So people who are antagonistic to religion will often say, oh, you have blind faith. Faith is the substance of the things that we hope for and the evidence of the things that we can't see. And that means that there's an actual substance and evidence to it. What does that look like when you're talking about a religious idea? Well, the word faith in the New Testament, in the Greek, is pistis or pistuo. And how that word is utilized is more in the context of an allegiance relationship. That is, Christ gives us by grace something that we don't deserve. And that is everything we have, our very lives, and an offering of salvation. How do we receive that? We receive it by faith or by allegiance, which means to follow a leader, you do what is said. That is why Christ tells us, take up your cross and follow me. When we demonstrate faith, we have heard the words of Christ, we have believed those words, and we have acted consistent with the example that's set by Christ. That is how faith is manifested. And faith, as it grows, is a gift of God. And I'll give you a quick example of that. Every time I go on a trip to Utah to visit family, I often get something wrong with a tire. And as I've driven to Utah, I've had the faith that the tire is going to work. And what happens is that I also trust that God is going to protect my family. Those are two different things. Well, so my negligence in not checking my tires or taking care of my tires can be a dereliction of my faith, where I have been absent-minded or negligent. But God looks over my family, which is what I've asked him to do, and what I have committed my life to him by covenant that he will do. I know that as I obey his commandments, he will look after my family. So whenever something like that happens, almost miraculously, there's an inevitable fixer to that problem. And that to me is something that is the reward. So faith is a gift of God because in the moment that we need God, he appears, he's present. And because we have that connection to God by allegiance and belief, we have that receipt of that blessing and we connect the two. And that's the brief.